Week 11 of the fantasy basketball season. Here's a few forwards I look to buy and trade for this week. The first guy, Mikal Bridges of the Brooklyn Nets. Bridges, the first month of the season, he was a top 10 fantasy player, but he's definitely fallen off, and teams have game planned for him as well to stop Bridges, and he's in a shooting slump. So on the season, 20.7 points a game, 5.2 rebounds, 3.7 assists, 2 threes, and 45% from the field. But the last few weeks here, 17.4 points a game, 4.4 rebounds, 3.8 assists, 1.4 threes, and 42% from the field. So right now, his field goal percentage a little bit down the last few weeks. His points, 3 points a game, he's down. And even his rebounding and three-point shooting, obviously, has dropped off here for Bridges. He's still putting up decent numbers, but not the elite numbers like we saw early in the year, 30-plus points a game. He had a 40-point games mixed in there as well. So December 31st at the Thunder, 22 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, a steal, 3 threes, 40% from the field. January 2nd at the Pelicans, 13 points, 3 boards, 2 assists, 2 threes, 36% from the field. And January 3rd at the Rockets, 15 points, 4 boards, 3 assists, a steal, a block, 3 threes, 27% from the field. So he's definitely in a shooting slump. And this net team, they're free-falling a little bit as well now, losing 5 games in a row. So Bridges, I think teams are game planning for him more. Their main priority is to limit him or slow him down, obviously, as Bridges, and getting the basketball and scoring at will. But I think Bridges is going to bounce back, and we've seen the upside in the talent. So right now, while his numbers have dropped off the last 2-3 weeks here, he's definitely a buy low forward this week. The next forward I look to buy and trade for is Andrew Wiggins of the Golden State Warriors. So there's rumors Wiggins might get traded. And last season, he was off to a great start until he had to miss time with off-the-court issues here. Is Andrew Wiggins. On the season, 12.6 points a game, 4.4 rebounds, 1.3 assists, a 3 and 42% from the field. So his field goals dropped 5% from last season. 5 points per game he's dropped off, and even an assist a game as well for Wiggins. And we know he was good on defense with 1.2 steals a game last year, but this year only 0.4, so a lot of his stats have dropped off. You figured with Draymond Green suspended here, he would get more usage and touch the basketball more, and his stats will be pretty solid, but that hasn't been the case for Andrew Wiggins. So the last few games here for Wiggins has been pretty much mediocre outings. December 28th versus Miami, 11 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 36% from the field. December 30th versus Dallas, 14 points, 5 boards, 4 assists, a steal, a block, a 3, 38% from the field. And January 2nd versus the Magic, 10 points, 3 boards, 2 steals, a 3, and 57% from the field. So Wiggins right now, like I said, Golden State, besides Steph Curry, there's not much going on in terms of fantasy basketball where guys have great value on that roster. Klay Thompson's had a down year. Draymond Green obviously suspended, and he wasn't even doing much for fantasy as well. And besides a few guys like Davis and Kevon Looney having fantasy value over there, it's been just a tough season in Golden State for these guys. So right now, Andrew Wiggins, well, he possibly might get traded, and maybe a change of scenery is what he needs. He's a buy low candidate, because I think Andrew Wiggins, we know the upside. We know he could score the basketball way better than he has in 12 points a game, where he easily could be 17, 20 points a game is the upside for Wiggins. So right now, he's a buy low forward this week. Third and final forward I look to buy and trade for is OG Anunoby of the New York Knicks. Anunoby, last week he got traded to the New York Knicks, and that Barrett quickly going the other way to Toronto, and Achua, Anunoby, and Malachi Flynn going to the Knicks. And I think it was a decent deal for both teams here. So far, Anunoby on the season, another solid year, 15 points a game, 4.1 rebounds, 2.6 assists, 1.1 steals, 2.2 threes a game, and 49% from the field. So a lot of people thought Anunoby is going to be a downgrade offensively from Barrett. And points per game wise, yes, but in terms of hitting 3 balls, rebounding, and being a guy who fits the system a little bit more, that doesn't need the basketball to go out there, move around, cut to the basket, and hit that corner 3, where he's one of the better corner 3 players in the league. I think Anunoby, he could help in those aspects, and he's one of the better defenders as well. So in his first 2 games with the Knicks, January 1st versus the Minnesota Timberwolves, 17 points, 6 boards, and assists, 2 steals, 3 threes, 58% from the field. And January 3rd versus the Bulls, 11 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, a 3, 55% from the field. So far he's been efficient with this New York team. Obviously, their top 2 options are Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, and now they're looking for that third guy to step up, which obviously was RJ Barrett, but Anunoby, he does fit this offense better. Like I said, he moves better without the basketball than RJ Barrett. He's obviously a better three-point shooter than Barrett as well. And he's a solid rebounder and a guy that can do all the intangibles. So right now, where people think it might be a downgrade for him, where he definitely did have more touches over there in Toronto. But like I said, he fits this Knicks system a little bit better, especially with a point guard like Jalen Brunson running the show. So that's a few forwards I look to buy and trade for Week 11 of the fantasy basketball season.